back here on Max Talks Movies, and today I am giving you guys my spoiler review and thoughts on season 5 of the Hulu show Only Murders in the Building. So, welcome back, everyone, to Max Talks Movies. If you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie, TV show reviews, added theater reactions, movie franchise rankings, and a breakdown of the box office every single week. So, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Trying to get to 400 subscribers in these final 2 months of 2025. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on this season of Only Murders in the Building? Is this one of your favorite, least favorite seasons? Are you excited for season 6, or do you feel like we should be wrapping up the show? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I respond to every single comment, so please comment down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I have covered this show every single season, I believe, since it has been out. If not, I think worst case scenario, I started covering the show in season 2, and I've always really enjoyed the show. I still think the show had completely declined since the first season. Going into season 5, that's how I felt. I had fun with season 2, and then season 3 and season 4, I felt very mixed on, where there were obviously some moments, but I felt like we were so far away from the magic, in my opinion, that was the first season of the show. So I actually found myself to be, this was the least excited I've been for a season of Only Murders in the Building. You know, obviously, I'm never going to stop watching the show, but being pumped to watch it every single week, and the mystery and the comedy, because I thought what the show had been missing in the last 2 seasons was they kept splitting off our main trio here of Charles, Mabel, and Oliver. And the magic of the show is the chemistry between Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short. Their chemistry, them working on investigation together throughout an entire season, is what makes the show interesting. Yes, you need other cool side characters. Of course, there are plenty of them in this season. But what always makes the show pop is when the three of them are together. But they've kind of done adding a lot of subplots, separating the main cast. I think that's really hurt the last 2 seasons. And not just, and I think I really hurt season 3. I love season 4, there were way too many characters, and it kind of became an over bloated show where people were just cameoing just for a cameo than actually impacting the show in any way. So I thought, as you can tell what I'm about to say, I thought this was an excellent season of Only Murders in the Building. I think it's the second best season of the show, easily the best season since season 1. I think this is a way better season of television than the previous 3. And as I said, what really helped this show was, it came to a point where how many more murders, right, could keep happening in this one building. It kind of pulls you out of reality. But this was of the seasons, excuse me, this really focused on the building itself this season. And it's because obviously Lester is the one who dies at the end of season 4. The doorman, he's the setup for this season. And there was a really beautiful episode in the season. I am going full spoilers. If you've not seen this new season of Only Murders, I'm going full spoilers. But there was a really beautiful episode of this season, in episode 2, where we get the background of Lester in the Arconia, and really it takes you in the day of a life of a doorman at one of these locations. And I think if you walk any type of life, you've met multiple doorman. If it's hotels, if it's apartments, wherever you are, you have ran into doorman. And it's the people that honestly, and I think what brought up in episode 2, people just don't really think about being a crucial part of of a building. Because outside of saying, hi, how are you doing? You kind of just move on with your life and you don't think about that interaction with that doorman, even though that's a human being who has a life and has these things going on. This season did a really good job personalizing an experience like that. What you really do on a day-to-day basis. If you live in an apartment that has security, you obviously have someone working the front door or the front of house. And most of the time, you just say, hi, how you doing? You look away and you just keep walking and you completely forget. You don't even ask for the person's name. You don't even ask what how they're doing. You say hi and you walk and you move on with your life, not caring that there's a human being on the other side of that conversation. I thought this show did a really good job of what it's like being a doorman, how crucial it is, and how much Lester cares about the building itself. And even if he's not friends with all of the people in the Arconia, not even if people care who he is. He wants to make sure that he gives the same amount of care for each person in the Arconia. It really personalized the season because they showed each of the background of Charles and Oliver and Mabel's relationship with Lester, but it really ended on a harsh note. Even though Charles is my favorite character in the show, and he's obviously a good person, he doesn't even remember the phrase like "after you." Like they kept saying, "What would Lester always say?" And Charles messed it up, and it was literally as simple as "after you." And I thought that was a really beautiful episode, setting up, personalizing the season. Then we got the inclusion of the billionaire characters into the show, where you had Christoph Waltz, Renee Zellweger, and Logan Lerman. They were all a lot of fun. And Tia Leone, who was cameoed at the end of season 4, setting up this, she was really good. Her bit at the hibachi restaurant with Charles was hilarious. This season, Charles, from a heart perspective, I thought Charles had a lot to do because Mabel's still figuring things out with her friends as who's also Beanie Feldstein's appearance on the show. Someone who she used to be friends with, she got famous, kind of, they don't like talk to each other anymore, and they're reuniting, and their friendship bond was a really good subplot. Obviously, you have Oliver and his wife, once again played by Meryl Streep, in Loretta, and again, Martin Short and Steve and Meryl Streep just have amazing chemistry in the show, and she gets to have just so much fun in this series. I think everyone's used to Meryl Streep just being super serious, just going for those Oscar nominations, but this is definitely the most laid back, fun Meryl Streep we've probably have ever seen. So it's really fun seeing her continue to pop up on the show, even if it's not for a whole season. The fact that she pops in like 3, 4 episodes a season, I think is really good. But Charles is a loner, and it really hits how much he is a loner, why he's into the women he's into, all of these things when it's rumored that the Arconia is going to basically disappear for the first New York City casino. And, obviously he's like, Oliver has his girl, his wife that he can easily just move in with and be with her the whole time. And Mabel has her family and her friends. She's getting offers to go with a billionaire to the Maldives and all these things. While Charles has no one else but the two of them. And again, this show was teasing a lot, which is this the last season of Only Murders? Because usually when Only Murders starts a new season, Disney and Hulu, they're very quick to say the shows have already been renewed. But throughout this season, until the day before this final episode happened, I just didn't know if they were going to get another season because the whole season was set up as, is this the end of the Arconia? Which means, is this really the end of Only Murders in the Building? And the fact that our three leads are fighting for the building the whole season, how much the building means to them, not just to them, but to the other residents in the apartment complex, I thought was just very nice. I think so. This show definitely brought up a lot of little things in life that most people just forget about on a daily basis. And once again, people always like to say you don't really know how much you love something or how much it means to you until something is gone. A lot of people say that with like human beings, like you don't know how much this person means to you until they pass away. This show really is about how much this building means to you, and these people didn't really realize it until the Arconia was about to be destroyed, especially Oliver, who was planning on selling, moving with someone else, leaving the Arconia. And so he realized that's also a big part of his life, not just his friends, but just the building itself. So I thought that was all really good. The twists and turns I thought were a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be Tia Leone's character who did the killings because I was like, maybe she found out that Bobby Cannavale was in a romantic relationship with Renee Zellweger's character. Maybe she wanted to get back at him, all of these things. But the moment the final episode started with the whole like Tia Leone backstory, I was like, that it definitely can't be her. Because usually in Only Murders in the Building, the penultimate episode usually like kind of answers the question who the killer is. And the big twist in the finale episode is that's actually not the killer. Here's the killer. This season actually didn't do that, which I really enjoyed. That kind of went off the predictableness of the last couple seasons. So going in, I was like, probably Tia Leone's character. But the big killer this season was Keegan-Michael Key's New York mayor, who was barely in the show. Out of the new cast, he probably had the least amount of screen time. But it was weird that he was kind of like working with the billionaires. He was trying to play it off like he would help our trio podcasters, but he really wasn't, obviously. And we get to the end where Bobby Cannavale's character does chop off his finger, and in a fight with Lester, Lester accidentally kills him. But Logan Lerman was the one who took the finger. But Keegan-Michael Key's character thinks Lester has the finger, and that leads to his untimely death. And the cover-up was with the help of the billionaires, because all the cameras were Christoph Waltz's character. All these things could be gone away with because he had the three billionaire friends who could basically help with every single element of this. But the reveal that Martin Short, they were recording him through like that the roulette table gimmick thing, I thought was a lot of fun. The fact that everyone in the building was kind of rooting for this to happen, V distracting everyone going in. I think it was like the best, most interesting villain twist we've gotten in this show. But I thought it was still a very satisfying season, because I thought this season packed the most heart. I think how important the three of them are to each other. Mabel, so you think on the paper, like, why would she keep wanting to hang out with Charles and Oliver? She's so much younger, could do so many more things, but she still thinks that, they're all family to each other at this point. So I'm really happy the Arconia is obviously looking like it's staying around, but it was reported the day before that Only Murders would be in London in season 6. I was like, that's a really interesting format. We've gone to LA, obviously, in season 4, but again, it was half in LA, half in the actual Arconia. So we get this we knew that after we got renewed, every last scene of a season is set up the person who dies and what we're investigating in the following season, which will come out as of now in 2026, because this show, I think, comes out, every single year there has been a new season. There was, 2021 was season 1, and we've been going every year with this show since then. But it was Tina Fey's character, who she hasn't been in the show, I don't think, since season 2. But her character dies, and she's crawling to the Arconia. And obviously they're joking about this really isn't in the building, so this is really your jurisdiction to investigate it, which I thought was very funny. But setting up London, because her opening podcast that they were listening to was in London. So it is confirmed that Only Murders will be in London in season 6, which I think is interesting. If we're going to season 6, I think still running it back with the Arconia doesn't make sense, because we just saved the Arconia, and it would kind of be played out. Things just continue to happen for like 4 more seasons in the same building. So I'm excited. We're kind of going to expand more than just in the States, going out of the States. What that means, we didn't get like a special cameo. We usually get like a Paul Rudd cameo or Tia Leone cameo or someone like that to end this season, get you excited. Oh my God, this person's going to be in Only Murders. We did not get that. So who knows who will appear in the next season. I also want to say Divine Joy Randolph was also awesome in this season. When the show started, she was not an Oscar-winning actress for sure, but not a known, entity in Hollywood. And it's cool, again, post-Oscar win. She did great work in this season as well. So I thought this was a really excellent season. The cast was great. It wasn't too crowded with just cameos for cameo's sake. It had a lot of heart to it. I didn't love the twist ending. I thought it was satisfying from like a heart story perspective, more than like, oh my God, what a twist. I really care about this mayor character. I was like, that was fine. I think they could have taken maybe a bigger swing, but I thought they took a safe swing, but it made sense in the actual show. So I had a really good time with this new season of Only Murders. What are your thoughts, guys, on season 5 Only Murders in the Building? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video very soon.